Hello and welcome to Fraggle Talk Classic, the unofficial Fraggle Rock podcast brought to you by StuffPigs.com. My name is Beth and I am rewatching for the millionth time.
My name is Julia and I'm rewatching for the first time in 10 years.
My name is Adam and I'm watching for the first time. And if you're looking for a joke this time, so am I.
And today we are talking about episode 16 of season 1, Capture the Moon, which first aired on April 25th, 1983, written by David Brandis and directed by Doug Williams.
Did anybody else get like some pretty gnarly whiplash in the Doc and Sprocket scene?
Say more.
So it opens, the whole thing is it's a full moon, and like, can I also just, sorry, I have a thing to say, but I have another thing to say. The score, every time the moon is playing, is the most amazing, like, 80s, like, running up that hill vibe, and it makes me so happy.
Yeah. And, like, these scenes with Doc and Sprocket are shot in, you know, the human world. They could have just given us a shot of the actual moon. But no, they gave us a puppetry moon with puppetry clouds moving across it.
Oh, I thought that was CGI. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was done with puppetry?
Oh, that's a good point. I don't know. I just assumed it was puppetry.
I thought it was just some kind of experimental animation. I wasn't really sure how the moon was portrayed in this episode. But I did know it wasn't a real moon.
Right.
I also definitely knew it wasn't a real moon. Yeah, totally. Yep. Same page. We all got
there.
The
clouds really gave it away when the clouds were moving in front of it and away from it.
Yep. Also, I also definitely caught those were fake clouds.
For me, it was the lack of, you know, shading and pitting on the moon. Like, it was like pure white and sparkly.
Anyways. Whiplash. So Doc is trying to help Sprocket fall asleep because Sprocket's just howling at the moon. And he puts his sleep mask on Sprocket, and there's this adorable little bit where Sprocket just kind of looks around like, what? Where did the world go? Which is a very good bit of puppetry. And then Doc comes back with a hammer and is like, there's got to be some way to make you sleep. And then slams it, and he goes, oh, that loose nail was driving me nuts. Which, like, I've had some problems with Doc in the past. This actually isn't a problem I have with Doc. This is a problem I have with the writing staff. Hey, don't insinuate that a man's gonna knock a dog out with a hammer. That's not comedy. That's concerning.
Yeah, because when he grabs the mallet, he does the thing where he's like hitting it into his hand, which is the common motion in any other media where it's like, I'm about to hit somebody with this hammer. Also, like, why would he be nailing or hitting down a loose nail in the middle of the night?
I mean...
no, I'll chalk that one up to neurodivergence.
Yeah.
Maybe, sure. But he does, like, he brings it down, like, 4 inches in front of Sprocket's face, and...
Who flinches?
It's very concerning.
Yeah. No, clearly what happened here in world is Doc is like, I'm trying to help my dog sleep. That nail's gonna drive me nuts. All right, now what's going on with the dog? But also, clearly, what happened in the writing room was someone was like, hey, it'd be really funny if we made it seem like Doc was going to knock his dog out with a hammer. And just, no, sir, no. And I'm not going to say sir or madam, because it was obviously a man. Don't. That's not funny. Don't do that, man.
Well, I will say, I don't think it's supposed to allude to it, but we do get a lot of, we'll get into it, but of a character hitting another character in the head over and over again throughout the rest of this episode.
Yep.
So I guess it's weirdly on theme.
Yeah, this particular style of Looney Tunes humor is one
Fading
that I'm
out.
glad is not. Yeah.
From the new series. He also offers like Sprocket, or he like mentions giving Sprocket warm milk. And Julia's dog corner, dairy's bad for dogs. Don't do that. Little bits of dairy, little cheese is okay, but don't give them a bunch of warm milk. And same goes for cats. That's a huge misconception.
Yeah,
warm milk is bad for cats anyway. Or milk in general.
Good to know.
I do love that in trying to help Sprocket get to sleep, we get the line, when in doubt, research.
Yep.
And then he gives this delighted cackle, like, same, my man. Absolutely.
I also wrote that down. I was like, when in doubt, research? Okay, good call. I'm back on Team Doc.
So then we transition over to the Fraggles. I love that the lighting is like warm and soft, indicating that it's like dusk and the moon hasn't risen yet, because they're preparing for this ceremony of the moon.
Yeah. That part made me very happy.
They say it's a monthly festival for the moon. And I thought I also celebrate a monthly festival for the moon. It's just a little different, less exciting than the Fraggles. Anyway, yeah, they're all getting excited. And they also mention how there's a moon greeter for every different festival, every ceremony. And this time it's going to be Gobo.
Which I wanted to ask, does this come back? If they do this every month, I feel like we would see it or hear about it. Do we hear about this again ever?
I don't believe we do.
Wow.
I feel like that's kind of common with Fraggle Rock, though, where we're introduced to these rituals and traditions and ceremonies, and maybe occasionally they kind of come back, either referenced or into the actual plot, but it feels like we get these glimpses of all the different parts of their culture, and then we just don't really see them again, you know?
I mean, yeah, but like a lot of that is like a once a year thing, and that makes sense if you're watching a season, but if it's once a month, I'd expect it to at least be referenced.
I guess I was thinking of like the pipe bangers, because those don't really come back. You know, it's kind of similar where it seems really important and something that happens slightly on the regular, but then, you know, we just expect that it's kind of in the background and we don't have episodes dedicated to it.
See, well, that's the thing. I'm not asking for like an episode, but just like, oh yeah, no, like that poem that he did at the moon ceremony last night as like a throwaway line just to be like, aha.
Yeah.
Right.
That's true.
I don't know. Maybe I'm being too much of a perfectionist.
No, I agree that it would be really cool if, you know, all of that was worked more into the dialogue or into the world building. Yeah.
But I love the culture. The culture of it's very cool.
It is. I like that we hear a little bit about what other moon greeters have done.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently last month, Finny Fraggle wrote and recited 74 verses of an ode to the moon.
And it was, we get this great little bit of dialogue.
Yeah.
Moki's like, it was rapturous. And Red turns to Wembley and is like, is rapturous the same as boring? And Wembley's like, I think so. Red goes, then she's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Or Wembley's like, I don't think so. Because, like, he's saying rapturous is not the same thing as boring.
Oh, no, I thought it was very much, he's like, I think so. Like, he's trying to play along with the bit.
Oh.
Then she's like, oh, and she's wrong. My read on it is it was another one of those left turns where you're like, oh, Red's going to be mean. And it's like, oh, actually, no, she's being nice here.
Oh, no, I'm pretty sure he says I don't think so. And
so I wrote it down. It's, is rapturous the same as boring? I don't think so. Then she's wrong. So he says I don't think so as like, oh no, it doesn't mean it's boring. She's saying it's interesting. And then Red's like, she's wrong because it's boring.
Yeah.
Welp.
I think that's the meaning of that bit.
I misinterpreted a thing.
That's okay.
Dang you, auditory processing issues.
I backtracked to write it down because it seemed like a good slam on against poetry.
Yeah.
Which I always find amusing because Moki loves poetry and most of the other Fraggles could not care. It's my one thing with Moki is like, yes, I agree. Poetry is interesting.
Yeah.
We also hear about someone named Weird Marvin who made a statue out of carved radishes for the moon. And my question is Weird Marvin the same as Large Marvin?
Right.
Do we know?
Okay, so I had that same thought because we sometimes hear Marlon, who we've met already. He was the one with the wall-eyed expression and wanted to start a cult.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Creepy.
Right. We sometimes hear him referred to as Weird Marlon. And Marvin, who we have not yet met, is sometimes referred to as Large Marvin.
Is he the saxophone guy?
No.
Okay.
But this is the first time we've heard of Weird Marvin.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, is this a completely separate person, or do we just give Marvin whatever adjective we feel like suits him in the moment?
Well, I didn't even know if Marvin, because Marvin hasn't popped up in the series yet, if this is it's just a name right now, and they're just throwing it to a Fraggle who doesn't exist, you know?
Yep.
At least, like, for us at this point. And later, maybe they're like, oh, we referenced Marvin in a previous episode, so that'll be the name of this Fraggle. I was just curious if that was a Weird Marvin was another, because I did think of Marlon, because that character has stuck with me, unfortunately. But they said Marvin.
Yep.
Yeah, Marlon sticks with you till the end of time. He'll be there, trying to alter your behavior.
All of his behavioral modification wants.
And so the world's oldest Fraggle shows up again, and he's there to help start the ceremony, and we get this great little bit of dialogue. The world's oldest Fraggle will now welcome you all to the moon ceremony. Welcome to the moon ceremony! The world's oldest Fraggle will now begin the ceremony. The ceremony will now begin. And it just, I don't know why that kind of thing tickles me so much, but it really makes me giggle.
So, Adam, you'll be pleased to know that this new character's name is Henchy Fraggle.
Yeah, that's great.
As in, he is the world's oldest Fraggle's henchman.
Henchman, yep.
And yeah, with them, unfortunately, we do get the running gag of Henchy will say something obvious. The world's oldest Fraggle will say, I knew that, and bonk him on the head with his staff.
I will say, not a fan of that gag. There is one really bit of just absolutely choice puppetry in there where, like, he's bonked Henchy a few times, and then Henchy says something, and he, like, doesn't bonk Henchy, but threatens to.
Mm-hmm.
And, it like, the staff crosses forward across his body while his head leans in, and it's that perfect, like, I will smack! And, again, not a fan of the content, but the puppetry is just... The body language on that is very, very good and makes it very easy to forget that is a person's hand and a hand on the end of a stick.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I mean, it's Dave Goals. He knows what he's doing.
Yep.
Very good. This doesn't feel like too much of a spoiler for the new series, but they changed Henchy's gender, and also, does not get hit anymore. I don't remember, as I've only seen the new series once all the way through, I don't remember their exact dynamic, but I do know they got rid of the violence.
Right,
Yay.
yeah. The new dynamic is more along the lines of the new female Henchy actually knowing things, knowing useful things, and the world's oldest Fraggle is still this kind of blustery...
Fuddy-duddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bumbling, blustering fuddy-duddy.
There you go.
And then we get our first song of the episode, which I realize I didn't look on Muppet Wiki. Is it called Shine on Us?
It's called Shine on Us Now, parentheses, Moon Come Soon.
I really like this song, and I also really appreciate the way that the backing track transitions from that, like, 80s kind of running up that hill kind of vibe into some, like, very chill sort of paganish kind of thing, and then sort of splits the difference when they actually start singing. That is very well put together in terms of just the arrangement of it and the stylistic choices that they're making.
Yeah, feels really appropriate for this particular ceremony.
Yeah.
So we also get the various, background Fraggles as, I guess they're not the moon greeters because that's Gobo's job, but they're walking in with the world's oldest Fraggle and wearing these lavender robes and those same pickle-shaped hats that are now lavender, and I guess that's just their style of ceremonial hat.
Oh yeah, do you not have just a bunch of pickle-shaped hats in different colors for different ceremonies?
I mean, I clearly need to.
I'm going to a wedding next week. I'm going to wear my black and white one.
There you go.
Yeah. So Gobo is going to talk about, like, specifically what he's going to do to celebrate the moon, and he says he's going to capture it.
Which he came up with in a dream.
He came up with in a dream, which I don't know when the first Name of the Wind book came out, and I don't know whether or not it came out before this episode, but I'm just going to make an uneducated take here and say that Fraggle Rock walked so the Name of the Wind could run.
Haven't read it, but I'm sure that reference is for a significant chunk of our audience, because I know it's a popular series.
Look, if you got that joke and you thought it was funny, can you just email our thing with just a brief write-up so I don't have to explain it to Beth and Julia? Can you just... Some nerd out there, if you really want to info dump about why that joke worked, please take this opportunity. What's our email, Beth?
We don't have one yet.
Well, never mind.
Just comment on the Tough Pigs Facebook post.
Yeah,
go
exactly.
to the Tough Pigs Facebook post. Just throw a little info dump there. And also, while you're there, could you just post a little comment reminding us to get an email? Because
Right.
we're all going to forget.
Anyway.
So Fraggle decides he's going to capture the moon.
Yes.
And I just want to talk about, too, I really like, as they're all getting excited for the moon to come out, they all look down. And I was like, that's not where that goes, but this feels on purpose. And then it turns out their moon isn't the regular moon. Their moon is the reflection of the moon in water.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think is beautiful.
Yeah.
It's so interesting because for them, they acknowledge that the Fraggle moon and the Gorg moon are two entirely different moons.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Gorg's is in the sky and theirs is in their pond.
Which also, this is canonically establishing that their pond is the bottom of the Gorg's well.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Which feels like, a really cool world reveal in terms of interconnectedness, But also, does that come back? Is that relevant later?
It's also been here before.
Yeah, where what was it? It was in a really early episode. Wasn't it the it had water in the name, didn't it?
Yes, and.
Was that the one with the pipe bangers?
Yes, so the episode with the pipe bangers, it's established that all of the water is connected. But also you're forgetting the opening credit sequence.
Oh.
What?
Where a Fraggle is captured by Junior Gorg and then tossed into the well. And then drops into the Fraggle pond.
Yeah.
I've missed that true. Every time. I never skip the theme song and just haven't noticed. Wow.
I've noticed. I just forgot.
Yeah. We also got it a few episodes ago in We Love You, Wembley, where Wembley is caught by Junior Gorg, but they're near the well. And so Wembley tells him, throw me into the well, because he knows it'll lead him back home.
Yeah.
So look, I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. Hey, thank you for info dumping all of this context now that I have it.
Yep.
I appreciate that.
I appreciate that too.
We cut over to the Gorgs, and Junior has nightmares on the full moon about Fraggles crawling all over him, which I'm very amused that the one time there actually are Fraggles crawling all over him, he sleeps right through it.
But it's also really revealing about Junior that, you know, all this time when he's been trying to capture Fraggles and thump Fraggles, that he's been scared of them this whole time.
Which makes sense, because think about how humans treat mice.
Mm-hmm.
Or bugs.
I was going to say spiders for a lot of people, snakes for me.
Really quick side note, Boober's not in this episode, which I am assuming it's similar to the other time we've seen the world's oldest Fraggle, where I think Boober was in that episode, but he was used really minimally, and I'm assuming that's why he's not in this one, because Dave Goles is doing the oldest Fraggle instead.
Yep.
Oh, I did have a question. So they talk about how the moon only appears in their pond once a month. My question is just, why is it only once a month? Like, that's it. There's no, I guess there's probably not really an answer. It just, to me, I was like, wouldn't it appear every night as long as there's not cloud cover?
But it wouldn't be big.
I guess so.
I mean, but it would, though. It would be like for 2 or 3 nights.
Yeah, the moon is in a slightly different spot each night. And so...
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. This just might be me not knowing the science of the moon.
But also, that being said, if it works the same way as our moon, then, you know, it would not only be in a slightly different spot each night, but also that cycle would also change slightly throughout the year.
That is how that works, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know enough astronomy to muse on that, but it does make me wonder if the Gorg moon and the silly creature moon are the same one or different.
If they're different, we got some world building to explain there. Ooh.
Well, the question is if the Gorgs live in some other dimension.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like they do.
Well, that then also gets into, like, the Fraggles, you know, like, Fraggle Rock, is it underground? Is it... I always kind of assumed it was kind of like a dimensional portal.
Yeah, exactly. Like a little pocket dimension where, you know, the humans can't access the Gorgs, but the Fraggles can access both the humans and the Gorgs.
Huh.
And we kind of see a Gorg access Fraggle Rock a little bit in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
We do. Junior gets told, like, Junior has nightmares. His dad wakes up and then 10 out of 10 dadding is like, I don't care about your nightmares, get me water.
Yeah.
And Junior goes to get him water, but he drops the cup down the well, and he tries to retrieve the cup, and then he gets stuck in the well, and his face is just looming over Fraggle Rock.
Which I really appreciate this shot for just establishing the sheer perspective of it all. Like, it's one thing to say that, like, oh yeah, you've got 3 sets of species that are knee-high to each other. I guess it's 4 technically, because Doozers to Fraggles, Fraggles to humans, humans to Gorgs. But, like, they're massive.
Mm-hmm.
This is like something the size of a skyscraper just being like, at you, which I would also be concerned about.
Yeah, Pa Gorg not only tells Junior to go get him water, he also tells him he can go sleep in the garden, because Pa doesn't like the sound of his son's nightmare screams.
Right?
Hey.
Oh, man. Nightmare screams of my child. Making it hard to sleep.
Just kick him out to go sleep with the radishes.
Father of the year.
Good parenting 101. I do like Junior's radish PJs a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Very good, very good.
Yeah, he's wearing the type of, like, onesie that has definitely made a comeback, but used to be seen as old-timey. And it's got the little butt flap in the back.
Oh, I didn't notice the butt flap. That's good.
So the Fraggles decide that obviously what has happened here is the Junior has stolen their moon.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this, like, really interesting setup of Fraggles not understanding what's happening in a natural phenomena and that causing interspecies conflict. And, I can't put my finger on it, but it feels like it's a metaphor for something. I don't know. Might be just me. So they decide they're going to sing a lullaby. And it's really funny because Gobo's like, I'm going to get the moon. We got to get the moon back. We're going to sing this guy a lullaby to make him sleep so we can get the moon back. Then they sing the lullaby and he's like, well, I guess a little nap won't hurt. And it's like, oh, man.
They all fall asleep.
Yeah, the lullaby worked too well.
Mm-hmm. But, like, man, where's your drive, dude? Come on.
It's the power of music.
Yeah.
I guess. I'm amused. But also, let's be real, I would be susceptible.
Yeah.
So Junior and all the Fraggles fall asleep, and Pa does come into the garden. When Junior got trapped, in my brain I was like, he's going to be there for forever, because there's no way his parents are going to check in on him anytime soon. But I guess Pa really wants his water, because he does go into the garden and releases Junior.
Not because he sees that his son is stuck, but because he says, look at me when I talk to you, son.
Right?
He's also like, why are your legs where your head belongs?
Yeah, this is clearly your fault. That reminded me of one of my favorite Shel Silverstein poems. Do y'all know that one?
Which one?
Someone built this pencil wrong.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Oh, it's great. It's someone built this pencil wrong. The eraser's where the point belongs, and the point's where the eraser should be, so it's really of no use to me. It's amazing how stupid some people can be.
That's good.
Aww.
That's a good one. Shout out to Shel Silverstein fans. I feel like there's a lot of you in the fandom.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, so he tells Junior that if he counts the stars, he'll never fall asleep because he'll be so busy. And then says, the royal thirst goes unslaked, and goes and get back into his room. Which, what a line.
And earlier we got Doc telling Sprocket to try counting puppies to go to sleep, which I thought was very odd because humans do not count babies to go to sleep, do we?
You don't?
I don't.
Yo, I count babies all the time when I'm trying to sleep.
Where did the trope of counting sheep come from? Does that actually work for anyone?
It's an old shepherd trick. I don't know if that's true.
I was just going to say, you said that with the... I'm starting to be able to detect your BS tone.
Feels like it should be an old shepherd trick, though, doesn't it?
I don't know. The idea of counting something in order to fall asleep always seemed bizarre to me because numbers are infinite, so you're never going to reach the end. That's
the point. It's always something to do, and you're giving your brain that little something to worry about, so that it'll always have something to worry about so the rest of you can relax.
Huh.
So they decide they're going to go get the moon back, and they search Junior Gorg, which honestly does sound like a nightmare. If I woke up and there were a bunch of mice trying to very quietly mug me, I would be terrified.
Yeah, but it is a very, very good puppetry scene of the little Fraggles crawling all over the big Gorg puppet.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of seamless cutting of it's the normal size puppets and they're like in front of the green screen where it looks like there's a giant Junior behind them, and then suddenly they're on him and it's the miniatures, and then they come off and they're they go back and forth, and you notice because we've been watching the show for a while now, and we pick up on all the puppetry stuff, but it's very seamless and very cool and good world building.
Yeah.
If it's seamless and it's world building, would you say that there were not any seams in the world building?
Not a single one.
Glorious. Or at least...
Well, I'm about to introduce one.
It would seem.
Oh.
Also, there is one seam, because that's how the butt flap works.
Fair.
Introduce a seam, Beth.
So
tell us that things are not what they might seem.
They need something to capture the moon in, and they use what for them is the size of a bucket.
Mm-hmm.
But it was the cup that Junior was going to fill up for Pa. And now they need something for a lid, and Webley's just like, I found this round thing. And
it's an invention.
He's like, did you say it was an invention, Wembley?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, yeah, well, I call it the wheel, but it doesn't work. It keeps rolling away.
Yeah.
So I love that we just get this bit of either Wembley invented the wheel and they've never been paying attention to the other wheels around them in the world that the Doozers have all the time, or Wembley just reinvented the wheel on his own. Good for you, little buddy.
You got there. Have we ever seen the Fraggles use wheels? The oldest Fraggle has a pallbearer that's not wheeled.
Yeah, it gets carried.
Do any of them have, like, carts?
We will see a future episode with a cart-type thing. Or, I guess, more like a wheelbarrow.
I will say, as soon as they got the bucket out, they were like, we're going to put the moon in this. I was like, oh, they're going to see the reflection of the moon in the water in the bucket, and they're going to bring it with them, and then they're going to put it back in the pond.
Yep.
I feel like that's an old myth or a legend somewhere. Like, that's like an old fable.
Definitely.
Somewhere.
I have this in my notes somewhere. Okay, so this is from Muppet Wiki. This episode is based on a Jewish folktale about the people of Chelm, adapted for the particular circumstances of the Fraggle universe. So there you go.
Oh, nice. So that's also, not to toot my own horn, but that is in fact exactly what happens.
Yeah.
They see the reflection of the moon in the bucket, which also I was like, why aren't they just gonna be like, oh, it's there? It's because there was a cloud. There was a cloud in front of the moon, and so they were like, oh, it's gone, and then the cloud went away, and they were like, oh, the moon is back.
It makes me question, has there never been cloud cover before on one of their monthly rituals? It's just been clear skies up until this point in all of Fraggle history.
I mean, I feel like what they did then is they just blamed whoever's job it was to greet. They were like, Marvin, you did a bad job. You don't get to do this anymore.
Yep. We also know that Fraggles tend to have short memory spans. So even if something happened 6 months ago, when there was cloud cover on the night of the full moon, they might have had a night of, oh my god, the moon has disappeared, this is catastrophic, and then next month they're like, all right, moon ceremony again.
Moon's back, no worries, nothing to think about moving forward.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I guess there are people whose job it is to maintain, that kind of public memory so that the public doesn't have to, but also I see your point that, actually they're doing it because the public sucks. Public is not good at maintaining this kind of memory.
Yeah, public can only focus on one thing at a time, and then we move on to the next thing, and that's our focus, and we stop thinking about the other things.
Yeah. So for a minute there, when they can't find the moon, on Junior Gorg, they're disappointed, and Gobbo's like, for all I know, the Fraggle moon can't live out of water for even a little while. And I just love that assumption that the Fraggle moon is alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, they think it's dead. They think the moon has died.
I love it when people personify stuff in order to make it alive. One of my favorite moments that I've ever had teaching, I usually cannot stand kindergartens, but every so often you get a really nice class, and this class was really chill. And there was this little kid who was drawing. He was doing a little thing, and there was that weird spiky ball that was kind of lumpy. And then there were a bunch of little ones all around it. And I was doing the teacher thing where I was like, hey, could you explain what this drawing is? And he was talking about it. I was like, is that the sun? And he goes, yeah, that's the sun. And I go, and are these the stars? And he goes, no, that's the sun's family.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, okay. Nah, it's okay. I just got to go over here and cry for a little bit, man. But thank you.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds like a myth right there, the sun and his family.
It kind of does. Anyways, so back to the Fraggles. That's basically what happens. He gets back and he's like, I got the moon back. And they open the bucket and there's nothing in it.
And then the bucket gets knocked into the pond, and suddenly the cloud cover overhead, they don't notice, clears, and the moon is back in the pond. And they reason that, it jumped into the cup up in the Gorg's garden, and then it popped back into the pond where it lives for that festival. And Gobbo exclaims, I can't capture the moon, then again, I don't have to.
Yeah. Which is, I mean, I feel pretty sweet. It feels a little thin on the ground in terms of morals.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out the theme of this episode, and for most of the episode I was like, is it about our misconceptions on nature? But then my takeaway, I think, ultimately was that we aren't meant to conquer nature, we're meant to admire it.
And share it.
Yeah, it's like trying to, catch a lightning bug or firefly you can keep it in a glass jar for a little while, but that's not where a firefly belongs.
Mm-hmm. We did skip over the postcard from earlier in the episode.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, it's a pretty simple one. Matt sees a farm where the sign says Rainbow Farms, which I'm assuming is just the name of that farm, but he assumes that must be where they grow the rainbows, and he sits to watch I'm assuming chicken egg, because the place is full of chickens, hatch because he thinks it's gonna be a rainbow, but then he falls asleep, he wakes up, the egg is already hatched, and he looks out the window and sees a rainbow, and he says something along the lines of, "Oh, they grow up so fast."
It's really sweet, and both with Matt's postcard, I mean, this is the case for Matt much of the time, but now we get another case with the rest of the Fraggles that, just like with the episode Feel the Water Run with the pipe bangers and how they're all interconnected, and at the end of the episode, no one knows anything more about their ecosystem than they did at the start.
Yep.
Yeah. I also thought this postcard tied in nicely with the rest of the episode because, instead of personifying the moon, he's personifying rainbows, and then he also falls asleep like all the other characters do earlier or later in the episode. So just like little things, and it's Matt. It's light and silly.
Yeah.
Solid. And then we cut back to Doc and Sprocket, and Sprocket's finally asleep, and Sprocket's finally asleep, and Doc is wide awake.
I love the Sprocket sleeping pose, which
I've seen
many a dog sleep that way, just on the back, feet in the air, tongue lolling, and just
full splay.
Zonked out.
Full splay.
Yeah. It's so good. And Jerry Nelson is heard in the Doc and Sprocket segments as the narrator on the sleep aid record.
I did recognize Jerry's voice.
Thought it sounded familiar.
Gobo's voice, but more of his kind of like normal speaking voice, but maybe a bit more grandiose.
For me, I thought it sounded like Podgorg. A little bit.
Yeah, somewhere between Gobo and Podgorg.
Shall we talk about how to make the world a little fragglier? Or actually, wait, Beth, do you want to tell us about the international versions?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, let's see here. Okay, so in the French version, Croquette is unable to sleep after Doc frightens him with a story about a werewolf.
On theme.
Meanwhile, Uncle Traveling Matt discovers a doozer moon, which is actually a target at a boardwalk shooting gallery. Alrighty. In the UK version, Sprocket can't sleep and howls, waking up the captain. The captain then proceeds to try and find a way to help Sprocket get to sleep, although his use of a sleep aid record backfires. By the end of the episode, the captain is unable to sleep while Sprocket does. That's exactly like this one. In Uncle Matt's postcard, he attempts to understand the British ceremony of drinking tea and eating crumpets. Back of the card featuring a rainbow is still visible in close-up. And in the German version, the scenes with Doc and Sprocket are nearly identical to the Canadian version. However, at the end, when Doc is wide awake, he starts singing to himself.
Aww.
Uncle Matt discovers silly creatures who are meditating inside shop windows and tries it out himself, but is thrown out of the store by a shop assistant. This edit omits the close-up of Matt's card featuring a rainbow, the subject of Matt's postcard in the Canadian version. Yeah. So I guess Matt is interacting with mannequins in shop windows.
Oh, those aren't mannequins. What you mean, the people who meditate while displaying clothes?
Right, sorry, yes. The meditating creatures in shop windows.
Yeah.
How are we going to make the world a little fragglier?
Get enough sleep. Don't stay up late doing nothing. Just get sleep. Just get sleep.
That's actually pretty apt for this episode. There can never be enough poetry about the moon, despite what Red would have you believe.
Yeah, that's very true. And you personally, listener, you should write more.
Yeah.
In fact, actually, we've solicited an explanation about why my Name of the Wind joke worked. Hey, listener, on the post here, you should share some of your moon poetry.
Yeah.
You should do that. We'd love to hear it.
Poets get made fun of for writing about several things far too often, one of which is the moon. There is a reason we write so much about the moon. There's a lot to say, and also, it's the moon.
Right?
And I was going to say, for my thing, make yourself a little monthly moon ceremony to, just stop and notice how cool and beautiful the world is and take a second
That's a good one.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. Alrighty, shall we plug our pluggables and then bounce?
All right, so that is it for this episode. Reminder to check out toughpigs.com. Hang out in the forums with us there. It's a good time. We're discussing all kinds of stuff related to Muppets of all the Muppety stuff goodness. All that discussion is happening over on the Tough Pigs forums. Give us a good review on your podcaster of choice. And if you want to find us on social media, you can find me at Beth Anna Cook. That is Anna with 2 N's.
You can find me at Geek Girl Grown Up or JuliaGaskill.com or occasionally on Tough Pigs.
Don't perceive me. Don't seek me out. If you seek me out, you shall find only trials and tribulations, as my therapist well knows.
Trying to perceive Adam is like trying to capture the moon.
Precisely. Put me in a bucket.
Adam is the moon.
Hey, I'm wearing pants.
Oh.
Da 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 da. Good night, everybody.
We'll see you next time down at Fraggle Talk.
Don't forget to dance your cares away.
Down at Fraggle Talk.
Bye.
Fraggle Talk Classic is brought to you by toughpigs.com. Fraggle Talk art by Dave Hulteen Jr. The Fraggle Rock mark and logo, characters, and elements are trademarks of the Jim Henson Company. All rights reserved. The Fraggle Rock theme song, written by Philip Balsam and Dennis Lee, is used with permission. Special thanks to the Jim Henson Company and the entire Fraggle Rock family. For more from Tough Pigs, please find us at Tough Pigs on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, TeePublic, and Patreon. Fraggle Talk Classic is produced and edited by me, Beth Cook. Thank you to Joe Hennis, the Tough Pigs Muppet Fan Podcast executive producer. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time, down at Fraggle Talk.
So we cut over to the Fraggles, and the family dynamic continues to be ridiculously dysfunctional.
The Gorg.
Wait, you mean we cut over to the Gorgs? You got this.
I can do this. All right.
Take another take.
We cut over to Doc and Sprout. Wait, no, God.